Hi guys, my name is Natalie and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk all about Magic Kingdom dining. So I was recently looking at a list of all of the places that you can eat at Magic Kingdom, and I work at Magic Kingdom and I was surprised at how many places there are. Is that weird? I feel like that's probably weird. And it's not like I didn't know about any of the places, it was just crazy to look at them all in a list and be like, wow, there are a lot of options at Magic Kingdom. So in this video I wanted to talk specifically about the quick service options and the table service options at Magic Kingdom. I didn't want to include any of the kind of just like grab and go, if you want to call them that, like little places, even like Sunshine Tree Terrace, or you know, like the little, I think it's called Liberty Market in Liberty Square, places where there are definitely food options, but they're not like food like meal options. So I kind of left out those places to specifically talk about quick service. And if you guys don't know, quick service is like a place where you would tell a cast member your order, you would go up to the counter, they would hand you your food, and then you would go and sit down. So you're not, that's versus table service where you are being seated and a waiter is taking your order, and it's a lot fancier, I guess is the word. Table service is usually a fancier experience than quick service. So like I said, the inspiration for this video was I was looking at a list of all of the places to eat at Magic Kingdom, and I was really surprised at how many options there were. So I kind of wanted to go through all of the quick service and table service options and tell you guys all of them in order of my favorites. And then as I go through, kind of give you guys more information about each in case you are interested. Just kind of like what types of foods they have, if I like them versus if I don't like them, and what I like about them. So let's get started. So I kind of feel like doing the quick service list first, and that is because more often than not when I go to Magic Kingdom, I am eating at quick service. So like if Scott and I go for date night, we are grabbing corn dog nuggets at Casey's Corner or beef nachos at Pecos Bill's. Like those are the two places that we go. So I would say 9 times out of 10 or more, I am eating at quick service when I go to Magic Kingdom, and then I only eat at table service for like special occasions. But that is because I live and work here, so we go all the time. So like I said, table service is more reserved for special occasions. So based on the list that I was looking at, I found, I think, about 9 quick service options at Magic Kingdom, and I'm gonna go through them in the order of my favorites. So definitely my number one favorite quick service restaurant at Magic Kingdom is Casey's Corner, which is on Main Street. They exclusively serve hot dogs, so my favorite, and I love hot dogs, but my favorite thing to get there is the corn dog nuggets. It is a very inexpensive option in my opinion. You get like 10 or more little corn dog nuggets, and I think it's like $6. So they don't, it's one of those meals, they don't force you to get like fries and a drink, you can just get the nuggets, and it fills me up. So for about $6, that's way cheaper than like a $12 entire meal where I wouldn't be able to finish the food and the french fries, you know? So that's why I love the corn dog nuggets. Scott likes eating at Casey's Corner too, so it's always been a great place for us to go together. Our second favorite is Pecos Bill's, and I never even really knew about Pecos Bill's until Scott, because he always used to go there and get the taco salad, if you guys remember. I don't think they have that anymore. But we would go and like share a taco salad because they always had the toppings bar and you could just like load it up with however much stuff you wanted to. But then when they recently, like within the last 2 years, changed the menu, I love it even more because they have these beef nachos and they still have the topping bar, and you can just load it up with like guacamole, sour cream, onions, salsa, and a lot of other stuff that I'm forgetting right now. But it just comes with the chips and the beef and I think like some cheese on it. I'm not sure about that, but I think. And you can fill it up, like I said, lettuce and all kinds of other stuff. So it's really, really yummy. Casey's Corner and Pecos Bill's are my 2 go-to. I will say Casey's Corner, you'll have to go find a place to sit because they don't have a lot of seating. Pecos Bill's is right up there because they have like a ton of seating. So you're almost never gonna have a hard time, except if it's like 12 o'clock when everyone's eating lunch. Then you're gonna have a hard time finding a seat. But they have indoor, plenty of seating, so it's a great option. Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe is number 3 on my list. It is technically in Tomorrowland, but it is right near where I work in Fantasyland. So I work at the Winnie the Pooh gift shop a lot, and Cosmic Rays is right there near Winnie the Pooh. So I recommend this one to guests all the time because they have so many options. I mean, I think they have like 20, almost 20 different options of different kinds of burgers. They have a vegetarian burger. I know they have salads. They of course have a kids menu, everywhere does. And then they have, what do I usually get there? Well, they have like a rotisserie chicken with green beans and mashed potatoes, which is so good. That's like on the pricier side. I think it's maybe like $15. Point is, Cosmic Rays has a lot of options, so if you have a big family, it's likely that you can go there and everyone will find something that they want. And again, there's a lot of indoor seating, so I really like Cosmic Rays. That's why it is 3rd on my list. I believe Tortuga Tavern is one of the like seasonal options, so I think it only opens when the park hits like a certain level of capacity, when there's a certain number of people in the park, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But so Tortuga Tavern is actually 4th on my list when it is open because they have barbecue, and barbecue is one of my favorite types of food in the world. It is so good. So I actually haven't eaten there in a while, but that's because I'm not usually there on like most crowded days. So I want to try to go back and eat there again sometime soon because I really like Tortuga Tavern. Number 5 on my list would be Columbia Harbor House, which is another one of those that has a great menu with a ton of options and a lot of indoor seating. The thing I will say, the reason it's number 5 on my list is because I think they mostly have like seafood options. It is Columbia Harbor House. It is in Liberty Square. So they have a lot of like lobster and shrimp and like fish type of things, if I'm remembering correctly. I used to like getting the chicken and fish sticks option. Like a couple years ago, I used to get that all the time, and it's one of those meals that I kind of got sick of then because I ate it a lot. So I'll go there if I'm with someone who wants to go because, again, a big plus is that it has a lot of indoor seating. You can usually find a nice quiet table to go there and relax. But I'm not the biggest fan of their menu. I kind of have to be in the mood for that type of food. I can't just eat there all the time. But it still is like halfway through my list, so I definitely don't dislike it. It's just not like my number 1 favorite. So these last 4 options are gonna kind of make up the bottom of my list. They are my least favorite. The next one is Tomorrowland Terrace, which is another kind of seasonal option. They only open it when the park is going to be pretty crowded that day. They have a couple pasta options at the Tomorrowland Terrace, so that's like kind of why I like it. None of their seating is indoors. It is of course under like an awning, but it's not in the air conditioning, so it definitely doesn't have that going for it. And the menu is kind of so-so. I like pasta, so that's the only thing it really like has going for it. Next would be Pinocchio's Village House, which is in Fantasyland, and I do sometimes recommend this one to guests because, again, it has indoor air-conditioned seating, but usually it is really pretty busy, and I'm not the biggest fan of the food. I like the food okay, but where Pinocchio's is right here, you just like continue walking around the corner and you make it to Columbia Harbor House, so I'd always pick that over Pinocchio's if I had the choice. So that's why it's a little bit further down on the list. Next is, well, the last 2 are kind of my least favorite, I guess, and they can arguably be like, I mean, they are quick service restaurants. Next would be the Lunching Pad, which is in Tomorrowland. It's like right there in the center of Tomorrowland, and I think they only have hot dogs. So I mean, again, I'm a big fan of hot dogs, but it's like they only have like 3 options. And no indoor seating. It's all just tables outside. So I might sound like I'm harping on indoor seating, but I hope those of you who are Disney goers know why I'm harping on it, because if you've been at Magic Kingdom all day and it's lunchtime or it's dinner time, I think the number one thing you want is a glass of ice cold water and a place to sit inside in the air conditioning. So I don't really choose these outdoor seating places because you're usually like hot and tired and you just want a nice cool place to relax. So I'm not trying to sound super negative either. This is just my opinion. And then last on the list would be Friar's Nook, which is another seasonal one. I don't know exactly how they decide when they're opening these restaurants, but I did see Friar's Nook open recently, and it is in Fantasyland, if I didn't already say that, right near the Winnie the Pooh gift shop where I work. And they have like I think it's barbecue or buffalo chicken mac and cheese, which sounds right up Scott's alley, so he needs to try that sometime soon. And then they have a couple other options. It's one of those that only has like 3 things to choose from and actually no seating at all. Well, actually, I take that back. There's a little tiny area of outdoor seating. So that's why it makes it last on my list, because I don't love the food there and there's no indoor seating. So that is everything from my quick service list. Now we will move on to the table service list. So I believe there are 8 table service restaurants at the Magic Kingdom, which again, just sounds like a lot to me. Whenever I'm thinking to tell guests or to recommend table service restaurants, I feel like it's hard for me to come up with recommendations. And my number one favorite on the list is part of why. My number one favorite table service restaurant at Magic Kingdom is the Crystal Palace, which is right off of Main Street. I love the Crystal Palace because it is an American food buffet where Winnie the Pooh and friends come around to your table and you get to meet them and hug them, and it's just amazing. I love Winnie the Pooh, so it makes me so happy. My love for Crystal Palace always gets in the way of me making recommendations to people for other places to eat. In general, I feel like a lot of people don't like Crystal Palace, and I don't know why. Every time I eat there, I love the food. I love the experience. I guess if you're not a Winnie the Pooh fan, then you wouldn't care for it. I love the food because I'm a pretty picky eater. I hate to say that, but I am. I like mac and cheese, corn dog nuggets, like bread, salad. I mean, only like a certain kind of salad, and just very simple foods. So I think that's pretty much what they serve at the Crystal Palace, is very simple foods, but to me, that's right up my alley, so that's why it is my favorite, because I love the food. It's a buffet, so you can get as much as you want. And then Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger, and Piglet come around and give you hugs. It's just amazing. I love it. So that's why Crystal Palace is my favorite table service restaurant at Magic Kingdom. So my second favorite on the list would have to be Cinderella's Royal Table, which I believe I have eaten there twice in my life, once when I was little, and then once for my 18th birthday / high school graduation. My parents surprised me with a reservation there. I will just insert this disclaimer that you have to get a reservation for Cinderella's Royal Table, I think 6 months in advance. I think they are constantly booked 6 months in advance, and it is pretty hard to get a reservation there. I'm sure they sometimes have last minute cancellations and it's possible to get those, but I think it's harder to get that than it is anywhere else. My second disclaimer for Cinderella's Royal Table is that it is very expensive in my opinion. I think my parents spent like $250 for the 3 of us to eat lunch there that time that we went. For me, it was worth it. I mean, they did it for me and I'm so grateful. You get to go into the castle, meet Cinderella. She welcomes you to her castle, and then you sit down and you eat your meal, and all of the other princesses come around like one by one and talk to you and take pictures with you, and it is just a wonderful experience. So if you are looking for something like that, this is definitely the place to go. Just know, number 1, it's going to be hard to get a reservation, and number 2, it's going to be expensive. So it makes second on my list just because it is a wonderful experience. I remember not loving what I ordered all that much, but I have looked at the menu more recently, and it looks like there would be more things that I would like now versus when I was 18. So I do think that they have kind of like fancy food, which again, I'm a picky eater, so I don't always like fancy food, but there are a few things I could find on the menu to eat. And then they of course have a kids menu just like everywhere does. So Cinderella's Royal Table makes second on my list, and then number 3 on my list would be Tony's Town Square Restaurant, which a lot of people don't even know that this exists. It is on Main Street, I think technically, but it is in the Town Square area right at the front of Magic Kingdom. So you enter from either side of the train station and you come in, and it's like the central area, and just to the right is Tony's Town Square Restaurant. If any of you know where the Town Square Theater is, where you can meet Mickey Mouse and Tinkerbell, it's just to the left of that. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't even know that it exists, but it is a Lady and the Tramp themed restaurant, so I absolutely love it because it is based on the Tony's restaurant from the Lady and the Tramp movie, which is so cute. It is Italian cuisine, so a lot of pasta. I usually order the Parmesan chicken, like with spaghetti, so it's really, really good. All the food that I've tried there has been great. The service every time I've gone has been wonderful. And it's just like adorably themed. Scott and I have some wonderful memories there because we have gone there quite a few times for like anniversaries and birthdays and stuff. So I love Tony's, and that's why it's number 3 on my list. Number 4 on my list goes to Be Our Guest Restaurant, and I have a very good friend, Tabby, who works there. I think that Be Our Guest is one of the most beautifully themed restaurants that Disney has done. I am not the #1 fan of Beauty and the Beast, but I can appreciate Be Our Guest Restaurant for the amazingness that it is. I don't dislike Beauty and the Beast in any way, but I'm just not one of these like humongous Beauty and the Beast fans. I am sad to say I have only eaten there once for lunch. It was very good. It was beautiful to see and experience, but it is on my list to go there for dinner sometime soon because I know you get like the royal treatment. The food is amazing from what I've heard from other people. So I'm excited to go there for dinner hopefully soon. After Be Our Guest, my next favorite is Liberty Tree Tavern, which I just ate there recently. I will link that video in the description box down below in case you guys are interested. I kind of give a lot of information about Liberty Tree Tavern. It was so much fun and such a great experience eating there. It is family style, so I liked that they called it the Lazy Man's Buffet because there's a set menu of things that the waiter brings to you, and you can have as much as you want of everything. So they bring you a platter of like meats, mac and cheese, corn, mashed potatoes, a couple other veggies, like a salad, a bunch of stuff. And then when you're done with everything in front of you, you can be like, I'll have more corn and more mac and cheese, please. And they will bring you more until you say that you're done. And there's also a dessert at the end. So they bring you like this big thing of dessert for the table. And then if you finish it and you want another one, they'll bring you another one. So it's just like a buffet in that you can eat as much as you want. But they bring it all to you, and it is so good. Honestly, it was hard for Liberty Tree Tavern not to be higher on my list because I just loved the food so much. But theming is a very important aspect to me in these restaurants, so I will say that I had to take that into account when making my list of favorites because, I mean, Liberty Tree Tavern isn't all that special in its theming. It's very like colonial, like birth of America time period, but it was also like dark and crowded, so I mean the theming was definitely not my favorite when it's compared to like Cinderella's Royal Table. Which would I rather eat at? Obviously Cinderella's Royal Table, even if I prefer the food at Liberty Tree Tavern. Does that make sense to anyone? Maybe I'm crazy, I'm not sure. Love the food at Liberty Tree Tavern. I hope to eat there again soon, even though it is another one that's on the pricey side, but honestly, all of these table service ones are. I mentioned specifically Cinderella's Royal Table being expensive because it is probably one of the most expensive dining experiences on property, but you're gonna pay more to eat at a table service restaurant at Walt Disney World than you're gonna pay to go eat at like Olive Garden. So you just have to keep that in mind. So the last 3 table service restaurants on my list are my least favorite ones at Magic Kingdom. The next one being the Skipper Canteen, which is the Jungle Cruise themed restaurant at Magic Kingdom. It is pretty new. I don't know how it's doing as far as popularity goes, but I took Scott there like right after it opened, and ooh, I did not like the food. I don't know if you guys have eaten there and you liked the food, please leave a comment down below and tell me what you ate, because I'm a picky eater and their menu was like weird foods. I mean, that's the point. Their menu was all like very unique foods that I have never eaten in my life before, and so I kind of just like picked the least different looking thing, and I still didn't even like it. And so I paid like 80 bucks for me and Scott to have a lunch there because it was for his birthday, and I didn't even like it. I will say the main thing it has going for it, in my opinion, is the theming. The theming was amazing. They tell you this whole story. The waiters and waitresses act like Jungle Cruise skippers, telling jokes and being hilarious. I love that. The experience was great, but I am not rushing to go back there unless they change the menu and include more things that a picky eater like me will enjoy. Second to last on my list is the Plaza restaurant on Main Street. I was very lucky and my mom took me there, I think, like not this year, but the year before for my birthday, I'm pretty sure. And I had always wanted to eat there because it's just very cute. I love the entire aesthetic of Main Street, and that's how the Plaza restaurant is themed. But I was kind of disappointed in the food selection, and we did not receive very good service there, I hate to say. I think it was just a very busy afternoon and we weren't given like very individual one-on-one service. It's not like the waiter was rude or anything, but again, it's one that I won't be rushing to go back to because of those reasons. The last on my list is the Diamond Horseshoe in Frontierland, and I have to say the only reason it's last on my list is because I have not eaten there, so I will have to put this one on my long list of places that I want to eat. Just because I can't give you guys an opinion because I have not eaten there, so I will have to go and eat there soon. So yeah, just to kind of sum everything up, I more often than not eat at quick service restaurants at Magic Kingdom. I told you guys all of my favorites and the reasons why, and I wish that we could eat at table service restaurants more often, but honestly it would get really expensive if we ate at table service even like once a month. So I enjoy keeping it as a special occasion. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about or any comments or anything, please just tell me in the comments below. Also, let me know if you would like me to do a similar video for the other 3 parks. I would love to do videos like this for Epcot and Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. But since I work at Magic Kingdom and it is my favorite park, I thought I would start here. But if you want to hear all of this stuff about the other parks, please just let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!